I've been out here doing a real proper spring, or at least end of winter job, and that is tidying up and pruning my gooseberries. I've got two plants growing right here up against this wall. They are both Finnish Hinnan-maki ones. They're supposed to be extra powdery mildew resistant, and they're really delicious. One of them is red. I think it's this one is the green one over here. Starts down there and has just really grown lots. And then over here we have the red one. Really delicious berries. They're sort of, well, depending on what stage of ripeness you pick them, they can be really, really sweet and sticky, or they can be a little bit more tart, but they're really, really good and delicious. And they're sort of about grape size, but really yummy. But as you can see, they really do grow in quite a jumble of thorns, very prickly thorns. And so I've been sort of thinning them out. I want to make sure that they get enough sunlight, and I've taken quite a bit off because they grow quite vigorously. And I want to propagate a few of them because I'd like to give some as gifts. I think they're such wonderful plants to have. And I mean, I got these, I bought them in, I think it was Aldi, like a supermarket here in the UK. And, whoops! I bought them here in a supermarket a few years ago, and they were just little sticks, a bit like at this stage. And within, I think after the first year, I started getting red gooseberries, and then the following year I got green ones because they fruit on 2-year-old wood. So it's good to just get them in the ground. And if I take some cuttings, I should get fruit on those cuttings really, really soon, like by next year anyhow, because they will just be ready to fruit. So the thing about them is it's so easy to propagate these. All you do really is you take a stick and pop it in the ground and it is ready to root. I can show you an example of this. So this is one really long branch that was just lying on the ground, and as you can see, there are some roots. So I just cut this whole branch off, and I thought I would cut it into little sections and let it root and grow. How funny is that? This is how easy they are to root. They definitely don't need any rooting powder. They can just go straight into a pot and root. Perfect. Just the kind of things we like to grow. Very easy. Let me get a little pot of soil and I'll pot them up and I'll have some new plants. Ooh, and while we're talking about gooseberries, I just thought I better show you this one. This is a little gooseberry tree I've got. So it's a standard gooseberry. I do need to prune it somewhat just to shape it up a bit. But last year I had it in a quite shaded position, and it did actually get some of that dreaded powdery mildew on it. Did not like it. It wasn't just shaded, it was also quite like there wasn't enough airflow. There were some other plants really near it, and it just didn't have enough airflow. So that's also very important for them, I think. Let me see, this is a different cultivar though. This is called Invicta, and it's supposed to be, well, the berries, I did get a few berries. They're kind of almost what kind of color would I say they are? They're sort of very light red, sort of pinkish, really pretty and very lovely and sweet. Yeah, so I've planted it here, and as you can see, it's also starting to shoot out lots of growth. So looking very springy. And I'll give it a summer prune, I think, as opposed to anything now, because I've just quite recently planted it here. I replanted it because I just thought it was not happy in that more shaded position. So it's just good to get it in this little area where it's getting some nice late afternoon sunlight, and seems really to do well. So there are all kinds of ways we can grow these fun ones. But let me go back and get some propagation going. Okay, I've got various sizes and shapes here, but it's going to be super simple. I'm going to take, this is the one that's got the roots on it still, so I'm going to plant it like that. The roots in there. I always like to plant these kind of cuttings along the edge of the pot, because then they will meet this resistance here, and that will help their roots split, rather than popping them sort of right in the middle. then it takes a long time for them to meet any resistance at the bottom of the pot. That will help their roots to split and develop and get bigger. So just put them all alongside the edge. And I'll just put lots in here. They always say that, you know, you should do at least twice as many as you want, because you never know how many will take. But I must say that with these type of gooseberries here, they really, really do root well. So I might just get all of them, and I'll see how many I've got in the end. Ouch! They're so prickly. I need to get my gloves on. Alright, got my gloves on. Alright, so some of them are really quite long. I don't usually do cuttings this long, but we will see how it goes. Now tonight we're going to have quite a cold one. It went down to 0 last night. We are in February, the 24th of February, and it's supposed to get quite cold again tonight. So I think I'm going to put these guys into my unheated greenhouse. I mean, they don't need any protection or anything, but because I want them to develop roots and not get super shocked, I'll just put them in there now, and hopefully they'll do well. I'll give them a bit of a drink now too, some water, because they're just been cut off from their mother plant, and they're probably shocked. And when this sort of thing happens, when they get shocked, they're probably going to flush out. So all these little buds here we've got growing will probably start shooting out. But it's not really an indication of anything. It's not an indication of root growth or anything like that. We'll see how it goes. But just really fun to get some new plants. I'll show how they go later on in the course of the next few months, and I'll probably divide them into their own little separate pots as they grow. I'll have lots of free plants, and of course I haven't done it well enough to know whether or not these guys are red or green. So it's going to be a potluck situation when I give them away. And I might also do some sort of experimenting with them and seeing how I can get them to grow and where and all that kind of thing. But always so much fun to have some free plants. So let's water them and get them into the greenhouse. So there it is, all tucked away for the night. I might even take some of this bubble wrap and add it around there, just for a bit of extra protection. There we go. But thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye for now.